The Clashing Conferences Podcast. Let's go.
Woo! That is how we start off a podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Clashing Conferences Podcast, Baseball Edition. He's here, ladies and gentlemen. I know you've heard the name. I know you know who this man is, but now we've got him here in the house. Our special guest tonight is none other than the one and only Anthony Pflugrad, a.k.a. Tony P. Tony, happy to have you, man.
Thank you, Matt. For those of you who don't know, if you have not watched the basketball podcast, I'm on the basketball podcast in the wintertime when the season is right with your boys Mike and Matt. I represent the Milwaukee Bucks on that podcast. So my name is Anthony Pflugrad, a.k.a. Tony P., a.k.a. the Black Widow, a.k.a. Clementone, a.k.a. the Big Cheese, a.k.a. the #1 New York Knicks podcaster on this site.
Oh my God.
I'm ready to go.
What you represent is the reason why we have a -1 now for cursing. Like the rest of us have to deal with
I have
this
not cursed
darn
one
thing
time on this
because of
podcast.
you. I know, but we're all being penalized on these other shows now because of you from the basketball show.
Even hosts.
Yep.
Well, Mike and Matt, I can speak from experience. These contests are rigged. They are staged
100%.
to be lost.
100%.
They are staged to create
I tried to tell Lewis this at the beginning of the year.
Staged to create drama. So in a contest where it's rigged and the decks are stacked against me, I'm at least going to be entertaining along the way, is all I can say. So...
Okay. Tony, as guests, we try to extend our best courtesies and manners. So I'm going to ask you, would you like me to jump into the internal competition and then let you have a couple of minutes to rip, or would you like to just get going and start talking about your brew crew?
Well, how I envision this podcast going in my head, we'd go over the points. I do my little 5-minute spiel that the guests like to get, and then I'm sure you guys will have plenty of rebuttal after that.
Okay.
So I'm sure there will be plenty to say. But let's get over the points first, because I'm actually very interested to hear how it's going, because I hear that it's evolved and grown since my days on the podcast. So let's hear it.
Okay, get to it. So, in the internal competition, amongst our 3 gladiators, we have Lewis in the lead with 8. 8! We're about to...
Wow.
There's a lot happening. 8. And followed
Come
by
a long way
Paul.
from those zeros and all those donuts we were putting up for a while.
Yes,
sir.
Yep. Unlike the Phillies, Lewis is keeping this entertaining and interesting. Paul,
Ooh. Is that a shot?
a little bit. They're a boring team. We'll get to that. Paul, you have 6. Michael, you've got the 5. You got the handful. What are you boys thinking? Let's go over real quick. Hits by a player, Lewis, you got that with 4. You know who had him?
For me.
Also, he got hurt last night, didn't he?
He didn't get hurt.
Yes, he
It's
did.
just he hyperextended his elbow. That's it.
You know how bad that hurts?
That's not good.
I mean, this bends the way that it's not supposed to bend.
He's not a starter. It's okay. He's DHing.
That's a starting
I feel like he's #1 in your program, though.
He's your leadoff hitter. That's a big role.
He'll be okay.
He's the reason you have 6 points or 8 points, too. Or at least 6 of your 8 points.
Goodness. All right, move on.
Let's
go on.
Walks by a team, Atlanta, 0. Paul, I'm going to guess that was a pitcher by committee type deal.
I assume so.
All right. And home runs by any player. All of you got a point with those home runs.
Thank you, Michael Harris. Thank you, Michael Harris, for that yesterday.
Hey, Paul, did you see you guys lost another player today?
No.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
Lopez.
The pitcher?
Yeah.
That is a dagger.
For what?
I
didn't see
that dude's a stud.
What he's already had.
It didn't say what it was for. I was just, before I got on, I saw on ESPN on the little ticker at the bottom, Braves place pitcher Lopez on the IL.
Say how many
Tony, were you
days? Say
were you
15 or 60. This is important. This is
Look,
important, Lewis.
hold on. Let's give Paul a chance. He's looking it up right now.
He may be.
We can see how he's looking it up right now. We see the light flickering in the right on his chin.
Tony, do you have any questions about the internal competition and or
Oh,
rules while we're waiting?
Matt, I have a slew of questions.
Let
So
him
when you
fly.
How
are
did
ready to
Mike
go
get?
down
How
that
did Mike
rabbit
get
hole,
the
let's go.
5?
So basically, I just need to know what are all the extras outside of the competition, outside of like winning your points. Like Schwarber had the most hits. How do you lose points? Like tell me that.
Well,
Swear.
we gotta spin the wheel, and then whatever it lands on, we have positives and negatives.
So like you're
Louis Vuitton, I get that, but where do the negatives come in? What are the negatives
Like
that?
walks by
It'll be
pitchers.
walks
Whichever
by
pitcher gives up the
pitcher
most walk, you get a
or
negative point for that type of category.
strikeouts by single player or strikeouts by the whole team.
Okay, guys, Mike,
Foul
I've been on
language.
I've done that part with you. That part I get. That is all the same as it was before. But if I say 55 to 185 letters in the dictionary, I lose points. So like where does all that stuff come in? Because that has changed. Do you get what I'm saying, Mike?
what was this little like 2 snaps in the around the world thing that you were doing? This little
Dude,
in living
I
color crap.
told you we were listen.
When we
Told you we had auditions for Big
Listen.
Brother.
and when we started this, the language was flying a little bit, and now we've all adapted
Okay.
because we all realized that when one person wasn't cursing, that it was going to behoove us to stop, the rest of us to stop.
Okay. So this is what I need, and we can do a test run of this. I'm not gonna curse during this entire episode. 0 curses. I need to know how many points I lost by the end of this episode. All right. And then I have a range of what I'm working with. All right.
Okay. Lewis, I love the
What
shirt.
you can use foul language. You're not gonna lose any points.
Yes, he will.
It's
It carries over to basketball season for him.
oh.
Uh-huh.
But keep encouraging him.
Tony's on like double secret probation as the person who this rule was made because of.
Ooh wee.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Listen,
never
we
mind.
all know. You want to talk about Big Brother? Big Brother's listening right now, buddy. Big Brother's watching over you.
He's
Big
always
Brother's
listening.
censoring what we're saying right
You're
now.
right,
All
but you know
right.
what?
So
Censoring takes time, and time means that he gets irritated. When he gets
I
irritated,
agree.
he takes points.
Mm.
He's an angry little elf sometimes, especially after
Mm.
episodes with certain
Hey,
people.
a coach just needs to know the rules. You need to know the rules before you get in the game. Is all I'm saying.
Really?
Oh
How
yeah.
often do the coaches get in the game? Just wondering.
Every game. What are you talking about? Coaches are involved in every game.
You said like in the
Whatever.
game.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever, guys. All right. Points. Let's go.
Tony P, would you like to take a moment or two and talk about your Brewers since they have been neglected on this podcast thus far?
100%. I would love to talk about my Brewers. And here is something different that I've noticed about the NBA podcast and the MLB podcast that you guys are presenting. In the NBA podcast, we like to present data and analytics and statistics about our team. Unlike throwing out wild accusations everywhere, like Fernando Tatis having a stellar year when he's played 5 games.
Yo,
Just
thank you.
saying.
That
Just
was
saying. We throw some facts behind what we're working with. So since
Hey,
you guys have
Tony
not
P.
talked about my Milwaukee Brewers all season, and you guys talk about the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks and the Orioles and the Red Sox, all these crap teams who
they are
don't mean
crap.
nothing. Focus on the Brewers, because let me tell you what, last year I did not believe in my team, and we got punched in the face by the Arizona Diamondbacks. This year, I believe in this team. And if we face the Diamondbacks, we face the Padres, and we face your sorry Atlanta Braves, Paul, we're coming for you. So here's some stats that you need to know right now. ERA, 3rd in the NL. Shutouts, 3rd in the NL. Saves, 2nd in the NL. In the past 11 games, our bullpen has not a 1 point, a 0.67 ERA in the past 11 games. Batting average, 2nd in NL. Triples, 2nd in NL. Walks, number 1 in NL because we take pitches. We grind out games. We go and hit the ball for singles and doubles, and we work the system. We're not just a home run team. Stolen bases, third in the NL. The other thing I want to say, because I'm a Milwaukee Bucks guy, I talk a lot about how old my Milwaukee Bucks team is. We're the oldest team in the NBA. This team is young. We are one of the youngest teams in baseball. William Contreras, best catcher in baseball, 26 years old. Willie Adames, shortstop in a free agent season, 29 years old. Bryce Trang, starting second baseman, 24 years old. Joey Ortiz, got him in the Corbin Burns trade, 26 years old, starting third baseman. Jackson Chourio, oh my God, 20 years old, literally the most electric guy in baseball, could win Rookie of the Year this year. Haven't heard his name one time. Paul, we got to
Tony?
talk about him because he
Tony?
signed, before he even played one game, signed a 10-year, $80 million contract. That's something we got from the Braves. So I want to talk to
Tony,
you about that.
we only have
Clementone.
we only have an hour, okay?
Seriously.
Clementone.
I can't help it. I
I
got
gotta
scared.
We only
agree.
Okay,
we only
I'll
have an
finish
hour.
up quick. I'll finish up quick with
That's what
12
she
seconds to
said.
finish up my 5 minutes. Sal Frelick, 24. Garrett Mitchell, 26. Tobias Myers, 26. Freddie Peralta, 28. DJ
Sounds like
Hall,
Chris
25.
Peterson.
Your team sucked. Let's talk about them. Come on, let's go.
Well,
Let's
And
hear
and
it.
Paul,
and
you know
and
where
and,
he's.
and, and listen, and how many World Series do you guys
No,
have?
Lewis, stop it. Stop.
Ooh,
No, let me take
ooh.
this. Let me take this. We're getting into Diddy's. We're
Hey,
getting.
it's
No. I got it. I got it. I got it.
it's all for you.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
It's all
we'll do
yours.
Diddy's
It's
digs right
take
now.
the
We'll do
floor.
Diddy's digs
I've
Take
right
the
never
now.
seen
floor,
Paul so
Paul.
excited.
Take the
I
floor.
wore.
Take the
I
floor.
got you. Diddy getting trivy with it. Diddy being myself. Diddy's digs. It's just trivia.
I'm still waiting for where the dig is.
Well, I didn't say it was like supposed to be a dig. It rhymes.
Mike, be ready. I'm taking you in when I gotta take in.
All right.
You're my basketball boy. Let's go.
Go ahead,
They're
Paulie.
running
Paulie,
up. Let's
take it,
go.
Paulie.
All right.
Take it from here
Yeah.
now.
Take a
All
take a
right.
Valium there, McSchnozzle. All right. First, we're going
Uh,
to talk about Milwaukee for
Paul, listen,
sure.
I'm not your neighbor in the wheelchair. Your grandma neighbor in the wheelchair that you're in a fight with
Whoa.
right now, all right? You're
Whoa.
stepping into the Thunderdome. Let's go.
This is
All I
awesome.
got to say is right here is our last World Series. It was 3 years ago. The only time
Okay.
that Milwaukee was in the World Series. By the way, they haven't won one ever. They were only in
Hold
the.
on, hold on.
Never.
Let me. Hey, Clementone, you see my banner in the background? Oh, wait, we got one. Do you guys have one?
I mean, I just got this Bucks one right here. The same year. 3
We're
years
not
ago. I
talking
think
about
the same year the
basketball.
Wrong
Braves won.
podcast.
You sound like Chris trying to talk about Daniel Jones on every
Yeah, his
sport.
his
Okay, but
about his
guys,
rookie year that he took him to the playoffs. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I got the most recent championship on the podcast here, and I would like to mention that Milwaukee has never won one. The Milwaukee Brewers have never won one. They've only been to one World Series ever, and it was in 1970, and they lost. But you know what? I want you to know something, Tony. Milwaukee has.
the 1982 team was special.
Yeah, well, so are you. Trust me. Milwaukee has won. Milwaukee has won a World Series. I want you to know that it was the
But they were the Braves.
Milwaukee freaking
Braves.
Braves. So that's all I
That's
got to
true.
say. I don't have a mic to drop.
So are you guys Eskimo cousins or what? How's that play?
Son of a
I
monkey's
No,
mean, they used
uncle.
to be the Milwaukee Braves, so I don't
I'm
know
pretty
who
sure
gets
we
the
are
spoon
Siamese
with
It's
twins, and I
divorce.
got most of
it's
the organs, and he got what was left.
yes. It's like the
The
Indianapolis.
muscles.
And a lot of
It's
World Series losses along the way too, buddy. Don't worry about
I
that.
love the Chew.
Don't
I
act
love
like
the
you
Chew.
haven't
oh
had
my
heartbreak in
I
those
goodness.
love the
years either,
Chewbacca
Paul.
defense.
Yo.
I love the Chewbacca defense.
Uh,
Do you know the Chewbacca defense
uh,
there? You sound like
He's from
Chewbacca.
Endor.
You sound like Chewbacca from South Park.
Brrrr.
So
I was gonna
Chewbacca,
do it. I can't do that.
Chewbacca is a
I,
Wookiee, and that makes no sense, which obviously means you're wrong. So there you go. That's
Hmm.
that's the premise of it. So yeah,
Tony,
How am I wrong? You guys are literally like 1-85 in the World Series
and
this
you're
year.
one oh
I
and
know we just
one,
haven't been.
oh
We
and
just haven't
one.
been. Yes, I
hold on,
know.
Your team,
hold on,
Trust
time
me,
out,
I
time
your
out.
know.
team for
Hey,
decades
hold on.
didn't even have an owner. It was such a cesspool that you were owned by the Major League Baseball. Bud Selig was your owner.
Cesspool. Get out of here.
Get out of
Cesspool,
Hey,
you
here with
said.
that.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Atlanta's a cesspool today.
Woosah.
Get
Hold
out
on,
of here.
time out, time
Don't
out,
mess with the dirty
time out.
South.
We got to bring some order to the disorder. Either Tony, would you like to ask each of these gentlemen a question about their teams, or gentlemen, would you like to ask our guest a question about his
No
team.
one cares about the Brewers.
I just want to tell Tony that he says he wanted stats. I mean, I agree that we have not talked about. I mean, I don't think we have even mentioned
You haven't. Don't
Milwaukee
worry, you
one
haven't.
time in a single episode, which is terrible because we have talked about a lot of different teams. I think we've talked about every team that's in the playoff mix.
What is there to talk about though? There's the Brewers have
Jackson
nothing.
Julio
That's
is the
kinda where I
most
was
electric
going.
player in
The
baseball,
Brewers
guys.
Sit down,
have
Buster Rhymes.
Are
nothing.
you kidding me?
You're going to tear
The
up.
Sit down.
Your
Brewers
best
have
player's been
nothing to
on the
talk
DL.
about.
First
Your
man
best
to
player's out for the year.
going to be the first man to
He's
tear
not the
his
best
pectoral
player,
muscle
Mike.
on a
Listen,
podcast.
listen. The first time I met this Clementone guy, he was like, "Yo, I got money on the Phillies. You guys better win." They didn't say nothing about the Brewers. Like, come on now. Brewers have done nothing.
Ooh.
Nothing at all.
Especially recently, Tony, while you were talking, asking for stats, I looked it up. You guys just lost a series to the Rockies. You recently
So we don't
lost
play
a
the
series. You
Rockies
lost
well. We have not played
two
the
recent
Rockies well this
series to the
season. I will say
Cardinals.
that.
These are not
Come
series that
on
winning
now.
teams in the
Okay, but
playoff stretch
Mike,
can be
hold
losing, bud.
Well, Mike, you'll be able to
guys.
put your
Let's
money
keep
where
it
your
real.
mouth is because you got a Brewers series coming up here soon.
Last
Okay,
series of the
guys, hold
year.
on.
That's
Hold on,
Last
guys. Let's
series
keep
of
it
the
real.
year is against the
I
Brew
think that's
Crew.
the actual, like
All
for
right, I need
stats,
some order in the court, Horn.
I think that's the
Folks, I need
actual
some
reason that,
decorum here, right?
1 second, T. Schnozzle.
Okay.
I think that's the reason that the Braves still have, like, according to the stats, like, are supposed to have the higher percentage to get to the playoffs than the Mets, even though you have a better record recently and technically have a better record. I think it's because you got to play the Braves. I mean, the Brewers and obviously the Phillies series. So even though
Every team has a tough stretch down the end here.
Oh, yeah.
I've looked at every team's schedule that's in the mix for a playoff spot, and nobody has an easy schedule. Nobody.
no, I think it was great.
Paul, how
I
many
think it was
runs
great
did we
coming out of the
score on you last
All-Star.
time we played?
I think it was
How many runs did we score on you last time we played?
okay, since we don't talk about the Brewers. I'm sorry, Tony. We only talk
I'm
about
pretty sure we
the
scored
teams that we care
36
about.
runs in 3
Hey,
games.
Tony, we don't live in the past. We live in the present, okay?
Yep.
Okay,
So
but you
leave it
guys are
alone.
giving me past
Leave it alone.
analytical data.
Ah, man, this is not the analytical show. This
Did it
is the
overheat?
baseball podcast, okay?
Please,
Did his
so-
internet freeze?
please tell me he's
If
frozen
his
for good.
internet freeze, he's not allowed to come back
Yeah,
on.
you're out of the room.
He's banned
Yep.
for life. This was supposed to be fixed.
Yeah, I thought this
Listen,
only happened at work. Why is this happening
Listen.
to Schnozzilla at home
Yo,
too?
dude, and it's amazing how he froze. Oh, I got to take a screenshot of that. Oh man, look
Oh
how he
my
froze. That is amazing.
Content manager, if you thought you were going to bed early tonight, thought wrong. So
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Definitely.
Sorry about that. Did he really get booted and overheat?
There was so much
Yes,
put into this
dude.
internet revitalization project.
Dude, he's like, oh man, I forgot. Oh, my head hurts from all those numbers he was throwing out there and everything he was saying. Like,
He turned into Rain Man all of a sudden. Of course, it was all
goodness
nonsense.
gracious.
But we
Yes.
definitely have been disregarding the Brewers, but only because, obviously we're talking about the NL East teams and the teams that are competing with the Mets and the Braves for the wild card spot, being the Padres and the Diamondbacks, which I would like to mention are having a much bigger free fall than our teams are.
Yes.
Last week it was at least a healthy 3. We're down to 1.5 and 2, I think. So
Let's go, Paul. You said it a couple weeks ago that we could both make
yeah.
it. Let's go.
Oh
No,
God!
and that's another reason why the Brewers don't get brought up. Diamondbacks, they're playing good ball. Padres are playing good ball, trying to stay in there. The Brewers don't really come up.
I can't name any Brewers players.
Let me ask you
will
guys
say
an
the
honest
Brewers
question.
have been playing good ball. They've been leading that division all year. I mean, it's not a great division, but I mean,
Thank you, because I was going to ask you who else is part of that division.
yeah, it's trash. They got the Cubs, the Cardinals, the Reds, and the Pirates.
10,
So you
Can I
ain't got
ask-
no juggernauts
10 years
in that
ago
group.
and 10 years ago and back, they were nothing. And you had the Cardinals have been ruling that for, oh God.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, and he's
Can I,
not.
hold on.
Never
Can I-
mind.
Can
He
I ask
left.
a question with or without Tony? Can I ask a question real quick? If your team were to play the Brewers in a 7-game series, honestly, how worried would you be?
Not at all.
No
Not at
more
all.
or less worried than playing any other playoff team.
I think that's the perfect answer. Like, if I'm playing the Mets, I'm playing the Phillies, I'm playing the Brewers, I'm feeling the same way.
Okay.
Can I just ask a question because I
No.
missed that whole segment
No.
that I
Oh
want to
my
ask?
goodness. Here we
Paul, for
go
real, it's a
again.
good question that I want to ask you.
We
Chill
kicked
out.
you out.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. We'll talk about that on break. Paul, playoff format. Does it work the same in baseball where it's like best record plays worst record in wild card, second plays fifth, third plays? Like if I have
No.
the third best division record, I play the best wild card team?
Well, you're asking me this. I don't know.
I don't
Well,
know. I feel like you're the
No.
baseball guy. You know all these other
you had
things.
any kind of team that ever made the playoffs, you would know the answer to
Yeah.
this.
So
Ooh.
my thing is,
No,
I
we make
think
the
we play
playoffs all the
best
time. I
wild
just
card
don't worry
thing.
about who we're playing because I just know we're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We won like 30 of the
Well, yeah,
last
when you're
40
playing for the
pennants.
last spot, that's all you care about. Yeah.
30 of the last like 40 pennants.
Yeah. Okay. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're good then. That sounds like a good time to go to the halftime then if we've actually found a way to shut Tony up. Let him recharge and take another protein
I,
shake or something.
I think before we go to the half, Tony did have a question for Paul about his future career choices. If Tony, you wanted to ask.
What?
Oh, about his feet? Is that what we're talking about? What are we talking about?
It's nasty toesy
Oh,
woesies.
Paul, stop throwing your feet on the internet for free. You got people pay for that. Stop.
Hey, the
All right.
first one's free.
You
You
can
got to get them
charge
hooked.
money to show your toes on the internet for free.
What
Dude.
do you
I will pay you to never ever see another foot shot out of you
Yeah.
Tony, you know
through
how that
this
works. The crack dealers go
podcast
on the
or
street and they give out the freebies first, knowing they're going to like it and come back and pay for it.
Not with
Mm-mm.
feet, dude. People with feet want like they're willing. They already been on the streets, dude. They're in the computers like trying to buy feet pics.
Paul got some ugly paws.
That's what they want, though. That's what they want. They want ugly paws. They have feet fetish. That's what they like.
I had a bit of
Sound
an
like you
intervention
sound like you
speech for
know a little
Paul.
bit too much about this, Tony.
Listen, I holla for $1 is all I gotta say.
Hey,
Holla for
hey, Tony. Hey, I just listen. I just learned something new last night.
Okay.
In case your internet goes out again, we have this small little section where you can become an audience to the podcast, and you
Mhm.
can say everything you want on there without
Mhm.
us having to see your pretty face. Okay.
Dang, it's already like that,
So
Louis Vuitton. All right. All right. I
hey,
see how
listen,
it is.
I'm
We'll get
I'm
into that
just
in the
letting you
second half then.
know.
All right. I see where
You
you're at.
know, you have option A where your internet works, and then you have option B where it doesn't work. You can still watch us
Okay.
on the
Louis Vuitton.
screen.
We can talk about it on break and we can talk about it here. I don't know what else to do. I pay the highest internet I can pay for. I got the newest phone. My phone is literally lava right now. It is hot as the sun right now. What am I supposed to do? I can't. I can. I'll
Put it in the
go back.
freezer.
Why it's
I'll go
hot.
back. Mike, do I
Listen,
You got
gotta
hold
to
go
go
on,
back
back
in
in
the
the
hold on.
freezer?
freezer.
Do I
You got
gotta
to
Time
go
go
out.
back
back in the
in the
Listen,
freezer.
freezer?
hey,
I'll go
hey,
in the
hey,
freezer.
hey,
Then I
listen.
got it.
You know why it's
I
hot,
think
right?
life is dealt you a
Because
cruddy hand in so many
this
ways,
is
Tony.
this is the hottest podcast from the Clashing Conferences
Yeah.
team. This is the
Mhm.
best podcast. So
Ooh.
to our viewers, to our guests, if you don't want to be on the screen, like I said before, you can be part of the audience and you can just ask us
All right, Louis
any
Vuitton. There's
questions.
technical difficulties. It's
Listen,
live. We're live right now. Like,
yeah.
chill out.
I'm
All
Okay,
right,
things
boys. All right,
happen.
boys. Let's hey,
All right.
boys, cool your jets. We got a big second half coming up. Not only do we got Matt Libs, but we also have a special flash and bash. So I hope you guys are ready.
Woo!
It's gonna get real. So again, save that energy, Tony. Stop yelling at your phone. That's why your phone's hot. Being mean to it. Okay? Or you're
yeah,
scaring it.
you're spitting all over your phone. It's overheating with the water damage.
All right.
Don't get me going, guys. You get me going, you're gonna get a little spit in the fire, all right?
You should
All
have
right.
taken the pre-workout
Well,
before you hopped on there, buddy.
good. Stay tuned.
Pre-workouts
We'll be
every
back
day,
in the
buddy.
second
Can't
half.
help it.
Steve's going to be up all night, so I'm not going to keep him up any later than we need to. Come back. You're going to see some funniness. Here we go.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. Just a few quick reminders for everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And check out our fellow podcaster, Jim Montgomery, with this day in Philly sports history. Thank you.
All right, I'm assuming since the wheel is spinning, that means that we are back in the second half. So if we are, welcome back to the second half. Here we go. We're going to start spinning the wheel because we are on a time constraint and we want to make sure we can pack in as much entertainment humanly possible for you, the fans. So spin that wheel, content manager. I would like to point out that the football podcast has a much more colorful wheel than the main. Pointing that out.
Just like your parades up in Boston.
Oh man.
I love me some parades. You ain't hurting my feelings.
Oh man. What was that? Hit single player?
Yeah.
2 hits by pitch. Then who got plunked the most?
Home runs, team total. I like that.
Yeah.
If it comes up another one we've done, I vote we let Tony pick the third one.
Yep.
Strikeouts by pitcher, team total.
That's a good one.
I like
Guys,
it.
remember who won that last time we had that category?
Oh.
Go Mets.
All right, boys, you ready for a special little treat? Little flash and bash action?
Is it special because
Yes.
is it special because of Tony?
Is that Clementone?
This is my favorite flashing or favorite clashing conferences like
segment?
Bit. Yes, segment. Thank you. We have not done it often enough on the baseball podcast. Have we ever done it on the baseball podcast?
No.
Nah, I
I
don't
don't
think so.
think
We have
so. Oh man.
Ooh.
Lewis, you're in for a treat. What we
Mm-hmm.
got here? Yankees.
Not a lot
Oh, that's
recently.
dumb. That's that dumb shit. It's too early for the dumb shit.
Dirty New
Why?
York.
Not a
Showing
lot
all the
recently.
Yankees championships. Nobody cares.
Nobody
NL
cares.
East. Dear content producer.
Nobody
This is
cares.
an NL East show.
The Brewers one would have 0 things on it. Boo
It
hoo.
was-
Hey, look at that big boy.
That's I've
Mhm.
seen this guy
Yeah,
before.
so
That's
have
pretty
I.
cool.
Yeah.
Hey.
He's a hero. He's a hero. I will call him a hero.
He's
You
a
guys have
Philadelphian,
tattoos?
that's for
Yeah.
sure.
I bet that did not tickle.
That is
No.
a big belly button.
No.
That's a big belly button.
He's got
Wow.
about the same tattoo choices as Chris does.
How much food do you think you could hide in
Oh
there?
my
Look at
god.
this. I
Look
need that
at
on a
1
shirt.
million
ASAP.
grimaces. Let's go.
ASAP.
1 million
Yes.
grimaces. That's
That
one
is
of them.
amazing.
That's where your head
That's
belongs
it.
on the butt plug for sure.
You know how good, Matt? Have you ever been to New York? Do you know how good the bakeries are, the cupcakes and the
Yeah.
brownies we can get up there? We're gonna be making that O face during that whole parade.
bagels.
Okay.
Getting the
Get some
bagels.
Sweetdell. Ooh. Want some Sweetdell. Let's go. Okay.
Oh wow, Will.
What's
I'm
that?
old
What's that
enough
guy's
to
name? Like
actually know
Harry
who that
Carey?
is. Yeah. He was a character as far as calling games. Let's be
I
real.
can't believe he didn't like burn people like below him with how thick those glasses are and the sun coming off of him.
I mean, it looks like he got hit by lightning.
Yes.
Oh, Mike.
He
Know what I
looks
want?
like
To me, that-
what's his
To
name?
me, that looks
From
like
Back to the Future.
Well, he does, but I think that
Doc.
picture looks more like Will Ferrell pretending to be Harry Carey. Is that what that is?
Isn't
That's
it
what
though?
he
Is it
is
that?
doing,
Is that
isn't
what
he?
it is?
That's
Okay.
I
I think
thought
that's
that
who it
was
is.
Will
Okay.
Ferrell.
That's what he is
All right,
doing,
I was
yeah.
gonna
That
say.
makes sense.
Yep.
Classic
that's-
Boston movie right there.
Yeah.
That's
Classic.
Clementone. That's Clementone right there.
That's
Summer
Paul. That's
Catch.
Paul. The greatest sports movie. Summer Catch.
I forgot where the reference came from. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're
Oh
such a
my
loser.
god.
Hey, there's a lot of
Just knowing Paul, that would be that movie poster would be the last movie poster on this planet. I would say, come on,
there's so much
no way, no
TNA
way.
in that movie.
He got that
Oh
hung
my,
up in his man
There
cave.
is a lot of TNA in that movie, that's for sure.
that is wild.
Ah,
Yo, the
Flying
flying
squirrel?
The
squirrels.
flying squirrel.
The
Yeah,
Everybody
flying
knows the flying
squirrels.
squirrels by
that's
now.
nutsy.
yeah.
Oh,
Nuts.
you know they have to have
He's a superhero.
they have to have a female one too. Her name is Natasha.
Oh, you should see if the flying squirrels might want to host our or sponsor our podcast as much as we
Yeah.
talk about them.
Yep.
Sure.
But why does he need a cape? Why the cape? I don't get it.
I mean, they're a flying squirrel.
It's a flying
fly,
squirrel.
yeah,
What do you mean?
dude.
Come on.
How's he gonna fly?
Yeah.
Fool, they glide. They don't flap
With the
their
This one
cape,
fly.
dog.
flies. Got super squirrel powers.
I
Yeah.
guess. I was just hey. Sure. So what does Natasha do?
He
Ooh.
got super squirrel powers too.
Okay.
Bag it, Michael. Yeah,
First off,
that's what the White Sox need to do.
people forget this guy's
Finally.
stats were actually pretty ridiculous when the strike happened. I don't think people actually realize how well he was doing.
Well, we can ask Clementone. He's the analytics guy. He might be able to tell us everything about
I've never seen Michael Jordan play a game of basketball. Never seen him play a game of baseball. I'll tell you that right now. Don't worry about that.
No wonder that all of your
Wow.
views are so skewed.
Hmm.
LeBron is the
Wow.
greatest
Actually, that's
player
the
of
Not
all
all
reason why
boys
he
are as
time.
stopped
old as
talking
you,
for
buddy.
Sports Illustrated.
Hey, Grimace
Yes.
and his
Nuggets.
friends.
Yes.
Grimace and his friends. The
Oh, it doesn't have the
Hamburglar.
guy with the stash though, does it? Oh,
What guy
yeah,
with
it
the
does.
stash?
Who's that guy?
Isn't that the guy at
It
the
looks like
bottom?
colonial mustard right there, dude.
Colonial
Colonial
mustard.
mustard?
Yeah, Clue,
Colonel
dude.
Honey Mustard?
Colonel Mustard. Colonel Mustard, yeah.
Are we playing Clue all of a
Wow.
sudden?
That's who it looks like.
Listen.
I'm saying, dude.
There
So,
will
Wow.
still be nothing better than the Hamburglar Jungle Gym.
Yeah, the prison.
The prison,
The
yes.
prison. Yes.
Try that. Try
Wow.
that in August.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ric Flair.
Ric
Wow.
Flair.
I didn't know the handsome contest started. Okay.
good
well,
Lord.
Is this part of the Clashing Conference's calendar we're going to be releasing soon, or?
it's a good day
No?
for you, man.
That face makes it look like you're waiting to put in one of those grimaces with Mike's head on it in your mouth there.
It looks like I'm about to go celebrate a
Cupcake face.
I
championship.
was gonna
With,
say, it looks like you won a championship. Yeah.
Oh, there comes Clementone.
Mm-hmm.
mm. Sorry, boys, but not sorry.
Ooh.
Man,
By the way, on the
this
right,
guy.
We really should have done this
that's
last.
a
We really should have done this last, so we could have said dumb
yeah.
shit and been out of here
Well,
right
on the
now.
right, it doesn't look like it, but that's actually a donkey.
There's a can't
I
say
thought the
put a
donkey was on the left.
Wow.
over him.
Well, the left to me
Dude.
looks like the right.
Wow.
So, Mike,
The real telltale will be.
I haven't got a chance
Go
to
ahead,
hear the
Tony.
football podcast yet. How good is Topher's defense on the Giants? Is it quite
Well, like I
depressing?
said earlier, you could be a part of the audience, buddy.
Yeah, maybe you should like it.
He
Right,
was
well,
last night. Or no, he wasn't. I'm sorry.
I was
No.
on the
thinking
week
he was
before. I
there.
did you the week before, Louis Vuitton. All right, so I'm in here. Don't worry about it.
Hey, listen, I'm just trying to promote that, you can join our podcast, whether you want to be on the camera or not. You can still be part of it. You can watch us,
Louis Vuitton.
ask
When
us
the Brewers
questions.
play one of your teams in the playoffs, or when they win the World Series this year, I'll be back on. You
Well,
can count me out for that.
when the Brewers play one of my teams, that makes no sense.
Tony, would you
One
The
of
li-
Brewers
your
are
three
they're
teams
they're
on
they're
the
a baseball
podcast, dude.
they're a
What doesn't make
baseball
sense?
team, so they'll play the Phillies.
Tony,
That's my baseball
would
team.
you like to make a
Yeah,
bet on
but
the World Series? My bet would be I bet you $50 the Brewers do not win the World Series.
no, I don't want to make that bet because I also have money on the Dodgers to win the World Series, so I wouldn't hate that if
Oh
that happens.
my gosh,
Man.
what is your problem? You are not even a fan. You are not even a
Okay,
fan.
Paul.
What is wrong?
Okay,
You
Paul.
are not
Picture
a fan.
perfect, Paul.
Not a
Not all of us
fan.
live in summer catch Boston, baseball season
What?
over here. All right. This is
All
Paul.
right,
What
This
all
did
is
right,
you
all
what's
right.
the
wake up
deal,
one day and see Ryan Braun in a pair of like tight pants? You're like, that's who I'm rooting
Paul.
for.
I can tell you exactly what happened. All right.
No, damn it.
So Mike knows I place one future on one team at the beginning of every season. I did it the day after the Dodgers signed Ohtani. So I think pretty solid choice, and it seemed to be a pretty solid choice right now. So I got the Brewers and I got the Dodgers, and they're going up against all your sorry teams.
All I
So
heard
I
was
think
you're
I
a fake
should.
fan and you don't believe in your team. That's all I heard. Fake
Hey,
fan, you don't believe in your team. Put money where your
Paul,
mouth is.
money rules the world, dog. I root for the team that wins me money any day of the week, dude.
Tell him,
Sorry,
Tony. Tell him, Tony.
sorry,
You pick
Paul.
winners.
Sorry,
Phillies
Paul.
money
Trying to
line.
get rich over here, Paul. Sorry.
Tony, I would like to say there's a little irony because you were saying and talking about how everybody was talking about the Dodgers, and then the fact that you're talking about the Dodgers on the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, if you win, please promise me you'll get a new phone and internet.
Well,
and
Internet.
living
You have
situation.
all those things, Paul. Buy me an iPad. Be my sugar daddy, then, I guess, right? What
Whoa.
do you want me to do? Like, I don't know.
Whoa.
I'm trying
Hey,
over here.
Hey,
you need to
listen,
talk to
that's
Yeah.
the
that's part of the late night
Whoa.
yeah, you need
podcast.
to talk
Yeah.
to the beard of
Whoa.
knowledge for that.
Yeah.
Whoa. All
I'm
right. All right. All
trying,
right.
dude.
All right.
We'll see. We'll
All right.
try something new before the basketball podcast. I'm
We
on.
gotta we gotta wheel
Yeah.
it in.
Let's go with
Wheel
Mad
it in.
Libs. Whatever. Let's do
Time
our
to call.
next.
Is that
Yeah.
time,
All
Tony?
right.
Is it that time, Tony?
Yeah, it's that time. The peanut gallery's getting restless over here.
Man, I
Let's
thought you
go.
were the
All
host.
right.
Is Tony the host? Is that part of the guest
Nah,
responsibility?
I'm trying to be a nice host so that way we
Yeah.
can get more guests to come on. Nobody wants to come on here
Yeah.
and feel like they're getting pushed into a corner by the people that
Or
brought
getting
Are
them.
you
kicked
worried
off
about
and pushed in
Thanksgiving
the
being
audience
offered
and
for you
pushed
too?
on the guest or pushed to come back later. All right, Matt Libs, let's go.
Content manager, if you will, please. Oh, this one. That's gonna come back and haunt somebody. No. They're quick. They're quick. They're quick. Easy one goes bye. And we're back. Tony, would you like to go first as our guest?
Always.
Oh,
Let's
all right.
go.
All right,
Sure, all the
Tony. I know
ladies say
this is
that.
kind of combining a little bit of some questions we've done in the past. So, Tony, you are a con man and you can infiltrate any sport and be an athlete in that sport. What sport would you like to play and why?
Well, basketball, because that's all the glory. I feel like basketball, I think, definitely has the like big game, big time. We talk about this all the time, like game 6, game 7,
You've never
stars
watched the
step
Super
up.
Bowl before? I think
I was
I've
going to
seen
say
that
that.
every
Yeah.
once in a while. That
Mhm.
tends to be a spectacle, and somebody like
Well,
Mm.
also those guys are getting their brains smashed in, and I watched Jordan Love take a pretty big hit 2 weeks ago. So,
are you
and
telling
I'm
me
on a
you've
basketball podcast, Paul. Like,
you'd
sorry, like I'm trying to
you'd
promote my brand, dude. Like,
um,
sorry, dude. Yeah, I choose basketball. Like,
you'd
yeah,
be hard
sorry.
pressed to convince me you haven't been hit in the head before.
Paul, you want to step into the Thunderdome any day of the week? Let's go. I'll throw heads with you. Let's go.
Ooh,
Ah,
Olympics. Ooh.
see? And you
See you
were
at the
saying I was
Olympics next
bad.
year, Paul. See you at the
You were saying
Olympics
I
next year.
was
That's all
bad.
I gotta
Come
say.
on now.
Start training.
Well, let's piggyback off that energy. Paul, I'd like to ask you a question. When was the last time that the Braves made you irrationally mad or sad?
Irrationally mad or sad?
Well, like somebody like drop kicks a chia pet, or they.
John Rocker.
I mean, you already know about, Braves as a whole, or are we talking just the Atlanta Braves? Because I think,
Just the experience of being a Braves fan. What was a moment where you were like, "I'm gonna kick this TV through the
Yeah.
wall," or
well,
"I'm gonna go sit in my room for an hour in
Rooting
the
for a
dark"?
it was
racist team
definitely
doesn't count either.
it was
Besides
definitely a
that.
tube TV with like one of the rounded fronts because they took
Mhm.
my team away from me after 15 years of it and sent it back to Atlanta. And now they have they just announced they have another one. Like the top 3 farm teams are all
Mm.
in Georgia, which it makes sense. But yeah, I was pretty pissed. That was it. Otherwise, I've never really been mad at the team. I guess at first I didn't like losing Bobby Cox. I was pretty mad about that. But I think it kind of was time. It had run its course. It was a lot better to do it than let it go too far and it get embarrassing, and then you have to do something publicly rash. So
Okay.
Hard to be mad at the team
Question.
when you've won like 30
Yeah.
division titles in your 45
yeah,
years of life.
I was
That's
in
gonna
true.
my
say,
personal
I
life,
was gonna
they've done a lot not to screw my life over too much. There's been a lot of joy and having them
Mm.
on TV all the time until that time as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Ted Turner's.
Billionaire Ted. Michael, I'm actually really excited for this question. So, and Lewis's laugh was the greatest prelude we could have. Mike, what is the meanest thing a Phillies fan has ever done to
Ooh.
you?
I got not like honestly like other than just like normal shit talking.
Like not
Whoa.
nobody gave
You
you a
can say that.
wedgie
You're
or
allowed to say that, Lewis.
nothing?
Yes,
shit
I'm
talking's
100%
acceptable. We
sure.
can say shit talking.
Yes,
Okay. I just want to make sure shit talking's acceptable.
One more time,
Just
there are
Not
just for the people in the
two
back.
very
Hey,
key
hey, hey,
phrases that
special
are off
guest.
limit, and there are like context that you don't want to use. As long as you can avoid those things, you're generally
So
okay.
context plays a factor.
The context is for
Can we
Paul.
leave it up? Can we leave it up to the special guest to decide if it's points?
No, because it's going to be the special guest
Yeah.
that's about to use it in about 15 seconds.
True.
I mean,
So,
I'm
Mike,
letting
Okay.
it fly.
hold
Never
on.
mind.
Yeah,
I'm
like
letting
I
it
mean,
fly is all I gotta say.
other than just trash talking, like I don't know, nobody ever did anything to me as a Phillies fan.
I mean, they exist. Isn't that bad enough?
I was expecting you were like, yeah, one time 3 of them chased me down the street and
no,
nothing. Dang. All right. Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Would you rather A, root for a dirty New York team in any sport?
that one.
B, give Paul's feet a
We don't need
massage?
B. He wants A.
C, hug a porcupine? Or D, cut off your hair?
Those are all
Hey,
terrible choices.
I will go. I
Yeah.
will go with C. Hug a
No,
porcupine.
that's some painful. That's physical
Yeah.
pain.
I thought you were a
He would
charitable
rather-
individual. What about the locks for love?
Oh,
No.
Oh, fair enough.
no.
No prosthetics on the
Nope.
hair for you, people.
He hates us that much, Paul. He'd rather hurt
Answer.
himself.
I'm gonna
Lewis.
hug a
He'd rather
porcupine. I'm gonna squeeze him.
physical
I like that answer. That's a
physical
good answer.
pain than
Lewis.
to support either one of us in life.
What's up, Tony?
Who do you hate? I'm sorry if you've talked about this before. Who do you hate more, the Mets or the Yankees?
The Mets.
They're in the division.
Exactly.
I mean, you comment on hating the Yankees plenty of times on the podcast. I've heard it multiple times.
Yeah, I hate them. I hate them, but they're on the other side. So,
The Mets are the Cowboys.
Ooh.
nah.
Who do you hate more?
You guys are more like the Giants. The
No,
Braves
I'm saying,
are
but
the
who do you
Braves.
hate? So you hate the Cowboys more than the Mets?
Yeah.
All right, that's the right answer. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
They were suppressing our Cowboys hate in the chat last night, huh, Lewis?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I wonder why. Content manager. That was all content manager.
Man, I know the wheel is friggin' cowboy colors. I'm not stupid. I saw that. I can read. Yep. Tony P, this is kind of a generic, easy one, but I don't know. I was thinking maybe you could give an outside the box answer. I know tailgating is huge in Milwaukee, especially Brewers games. So, what are the top 3 things someone needs to bring with them if they're tailgating at a Brewers game?
Beer, alcohol, and a grill.
A what?
A grill, definitely.
Grill.
A girl?
No, grill.
A grill. Okay.
Let me tell you what I had this summer. I'll tell you this at a tailgating. All right, you ready for this? It was a sandwich that had chicken on it, a brat on it, and a burger on it, all in one. That's what they're doing here. And I was not feeling good. I'll tell you that.
I was not feeling for that. Yeah. Yikes on bikes. Paul. We got the whatever Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, whatever. We got guys fighting. I don't know. So if you could arrange a fight between any 2 athletes of your choice, who would you choose and why? Mine would be like LeBron against like the best MMA fighter, just because that would be hilarious.
I mean, like,
so across any sport.
anything that gets him a physical beatdown. I mean, that would work. That may be my answer right now. That may be my 2024 answer. That LeBron, LeBron against anybody I know that could actually twist him into a pretzel and
like Khabib, like just jump on top of him like a bear and just
somebody who's from a country where that ends with the word "stan." If the country ends with the word "stan," I'm up for it. I'm all.
But Matt, you're just putting yourself in a position for LeBron to just prove you wrong again, like he always does, and then he comes out on top, wins, and you look like a.
And there you go again, Tony, supporting another team that has nothing to do with your team.
Again, he's never seen Michael Jordan, so he doesn't even know. He doesn't even.
If I had one, kiss the ring, kiss the ring. We are the champs. Kiss the ring. King. Yeah, he got usurped. How about that? So, take that, LeBron. Anyways, Michael. What board game could you whoop all of us in?
Oh, Monopoly. I know it's all luck, but that's my game.
Why? Just it's because it's like I could sit here for 10 hours and wait these guys out.
I just love playing Monopoly.
Okay.
There's no real strategy. It's all luck.
Okay. Can you shoot? It does shoot dice though. I feel like that's where you and Clementone.
That's not a
No?
board game. That's way better. That's a casino game.
Still shooting dice though.
Casino, no.
And finally, Lewis, what is your social security and PIN number? I'm just kidding. It's not.
You
That's not
want
the question.
you want the real one or the
I'm
fake
kidding.
one?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Ha, ha, ha,
Whichever
ha.
one
Okay,
has more
ready?
money.
Here we go.
Neither.
Final question, Lewis. If you had to, I left the Flyers out of this because they've never done anything in my entire life. So, if you had to relocate one of your Phillies teams, either the Sixers, the Phillies, or the Eagles, which team has got to go and why?
Which team has to go and why?
I hear the Sixers are going to Chinatown.
What?
Yeah, I would say yeah. There's big talks. They want to move him to Jersey.
The Sixers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. I did not know that. I just was asking. Wow. Okay.
That would never happen.
Hello. Huh.
Yeah, I would say the Sixers, man. They've been a letdown for the past few years.
Man, I trusted
81.
that process, and oh my gosh, that was just
Yeah,
terrible.
and it's been terrible. First they gave Ben Simmons all that money, and he passed on that layup. It was a quick, just there, and he decided to pass the ball. Yeah, I'll say the Sixers.
Traded Jimmy
Tell them where they
Butler.
messed up, Matt. Tell them where they messed up, Matt.
Well, in back-to-back years where the same order in the draft occurred, you guys took Ben Simmons. We took Jaylen Brown. And
Jaylen
then you
Brown.
guys traded us
This is the
the
one.
third and another pick. You guys took Markelle Fultz, and we took Jason Tatum.
Ouch.
Now, I will
Hurts.
say this, Lewis. This is not. I'm not taking a dig at you. I would love to have this conversation actually with you sometime. If you go back and really look outside of Embiid,
On the
every
basketball
single pick the
podcast.
Phillies made, they blew it, right?
They
But imagine if they
yes.
got gone back and picked the right guys, they would have a dream team.
The best team that like was ever made.
Yes.
Ever.
Like
I
seriously.
No
agree
Jaleel
with you
Okafor, no
100.
Nerlens Noel, none of those clowns.
I
Yep.
agree with you 100%.
Yep. So, okay, I can. So again, that makes sense why you would say get out of here, Sixers. They had their shot.
Well, if they had drafted
Well,
right, the process would have worked, and 2 would have only taken 3 or 4 years instead of
Yep.
7 years, and you're literally got Joel Embiid on like Forrest Gump like braces.
Yep.
yes.
They love drafting guys that had to sit a year or two. Also, it made no sense. All right, boys, we made it. Tony,
Can
is
I
your
just
phone gonna
make one
explode?
Mad Libs related question that I wanted to comment on with you guys?
We
At the
actually have a
beginning of the
couple of minutes.
season, you guys did best sports movies, and you didn't comment on any of my top 3 favorite sports movies. So I want to bring them up to you. You ready? Remember the Titans? He Got Game with
Great
Ray
one.
Allen, and Basketball. All great movies.
We talked about. I think we did to say a basketball made it up.
I thought somebody mentioned
A little
basketball.
bit, yeah. We
The
did.
Basketball made it out of side, but Remember the Titans is one of the greatest sports movies of all time. Everybody's
Agreed.
in that movie. Denzel Washington's a beast in that movie, and He Got Game.
Do you know what the problem with that though? With Remember the Titans, they
What?
Disneyfied it. That was the problem. I think it would be better if it wasn't Disneyfied.
That's
I
why I
mean,
didn't like
I
it.
saw it as a kid, so I grew up as a kid. So
We already know your
Fun
childhood
fact.
sucks since you didn't get to watch Jordan play.
True.
Yeah. True.
Yep.
yeah,
Fun fact about He Got Game. Actually, they did not tell Ray Allen that Denzel had been practicing. So those first couple buckets in that game they play was them actually playing. So
really
go back and rewatch that now, and you can look at it a different way.
Great movie. Great movie if you haven't seen it.
Listen,
Basketball
summertime.
podcast. Great podcast if you haven't listened to it.
Tony, you got anything before we go?
Well, I just want
Really?
to say one more time that the Milwaukee Brewers are a great sports franchise, and I hope you guys talk about them in the future. I hope you have nice things to say about me when I leave and I'm not on this podcast next week because I know you're going to talk about it. And keep doing good work. Keep pushing the brand. Love you guys. Even though you're a bunch of haters, I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me today. And
There it
hopefully
is.
you will have me back. Hopefully you were at least entertained for a little bit. Thank you.
We were, and I think your movie's coming out pretty soon, right? Popeye? Not it. You got that movie coming out in the next year or so.
Oh, you don't even know yet, Paul. Wait till next year, baby. The Olympics are coming.
Paul's not going to be there because he's going to have 2 amputated feet. Gang.
Man.
Paralympics all day, brother.
Hey, you can
You
cheer on
still
me in
wouldn't
the
be an
sky.
Skill,
athlete.
and I
Let's
don't
go.
have to be because it's just a
No.
skill.
Lewis, is it that time?
Yes, it is that dumb shit again.
It is that time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, like, subscribe, comment, question, join us. Come on, we're like NWO. We want more people. Let's go. Join the team.
Go Mets.
Sir.